Bashar Akbik. He is the Syrian charge d'affaires to Canada, and he joins me once again from Ottawa. Bashar Akbik, first of all, U.S. President Barack Obama, you just heard, calling for your country's president, Bashar al-Assad, to step down. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I think the United States is not in a position to give lessons about the human rights issues, so let him keep his advice for himself.
All right, your leader, though, has seen what has happened to Muammar Gaddafi. He has seen what has happened to the Mubarak regime, to Tunisia's regime and others. Why won't he just let go?
Because, as I did and said several times through CBCs and other media, I said the situation in Syria is much different than other countries. In Syria, I again say, President Assad still gets the support of the majority of the Syrian people, and this is a thing which the West is trying to ignore. He still have the support of 60–70% of the people who want reform. They want a secular, free, democratic Syria. They want to continue with the president his reform campaign.
What's your reaction to the reports we are hearing out of Syria today during the local elections? BBC and others, activists saying that turnout is low, people are afraid, there have been 18 deaths so far, there's a massive general strike. Basically, the city of Homs is on strike.
Well, we expect from BBC and such media to broadcast such reports. What's happening now? Defense is taking place mostly in the city of Homs, where the most number of the insurgents are there. We are facing gunmen, we are facing mercenaries, and we are trying to restore the peace to the city. But we have, first of all, to get the mercenaries and to get the Salafists and to get the gunmen out of town.
Who are these people? Who are you alleging these people are?
It's really a chaos in the streets. We have mercenaries working for United States, for the West. They are trying to plant chaos in the streets, and they try to show the world that the Syrian army and security forces are harassing the people and shooting them, and this is not right. What's happening is that they shoot at the people and try the public to convince the public opinion that those who are shooting at the people are the Syrian army. The Syrian army has very clear instructions not to shoot at civilians.
Let me get this straight. You're saying that the gunmen on the streets, the people fighting on the streets, are insurgents planted by the United States?
Exactly, United States, and by some, unfortunately, by some Arab countries, neighboring countries. There are Salafists and there are fundamentalists. There are groups of murderers who are taking the streets inside the city of Homs, and we are trying to take them out of the city. That's what the army is trying to do now, without having casualties.
If this is the situation, why not let the Arab League at least send in monitors so they can verify and see what's happening?
We are in direct and daily contact with the Arab League. There are friendly countries with good intentions working on that matter, like Algeria, like Iraq. They are trying to bring a deal between Syria and between the Arab League, and we are about to make it.
But you and I spoke about this more than a month ago now, where you said, oh, by the end of this weekend, Carol,
yes,
you said,
yes,
we're going to have journalists in, they can look,
exactly,
we're going to have monitors in, we're going to do this and that. Nothing happened.
Exactly. Carol, look what happened. On the 4th of November, when we struck the deal with the Arab League, we started on our job. we started off, we had 85 journalists inside Syria. 553 prisoners were out of jail. We started to do our job, but after 2 days, on the 6th of November, when the Syrian government asked all gunmen to hand in their arms to the Syrian authorities without being arrested, and they will get general amnesty, the American, at that time, State Secretary spokeswoman asked the Syrian gunmen not to hand their gun to the Syrian authorities. How come that happened?
Are you afraid that eventually the United States and many of the countries in the world, like France, you know, Canada, the United States already losing patience, but do you think the UN is going to lose so much patience that there's
the UN rules all?
A resolution where there's going to have to be some sort of intervention, the way there was in Libya?
Carol, that's the plot. That is the scheme. They want to try to get a condemnation against Syria in the Security Council to get a cover for a similar attack like what happened in Libya, to make a similar thing in Syria. But most of the countries, members, permanent or not permanent members in the Security Council, reject that. You have at least 7 countries, including China and Russia, wouldn't agree that after they saw what happened in Libya, after they saw what happened in Iraq, they wouldn't allow this to happen again in Syria. Syria is not a backyard swimming pool for the Sixth Fleet.
Let me ask you this, though.
NATO.
Bashar Akbik, I cannot let you go without asking you. The United Nations Human Rights Commissioner has documented case of rapes and attacks of people in your country and is blaming the regime and wants the regime to get these attacks stopped. I mean, how can you say is the UN part of this plot as well?
Yes, of course. The UN has long time ago became an unfair and a biased, unfortunately, a biased agency, which is in fact achieving the plots of the United States and their allies. Navi Pillay and the Human Rights Council, when they condemned Syria, I think 1 week ago, they didn't even give the Syrian government a copy of the documents, of the documentations. Do you believe that? Where does that happen?
I'll have to leave it on that question. Bashar Akbik, Syria's charge d'affaires in Canada, speaking with me from Ottawa today.
Thank you.